Imagine a Mustang that refuses to let history sit quietly in a museum. A car that takes the raw character of the S197 generation and reimagines it for a new era with sharper technology, stronger performance, and the same rebellious American attitude. Welcome to Prime Car Culture, because today we are taking a detailed look at the imagined 2027 Ford Mustang S197, a modern interpretation of the classic fifth-generation Mustang formula. The idea is simple: preserve the proportions, attitude, and unmistakable personality that made the S197 special, while giving the car the hardware and refinement expected from a modern performance machine. From the first glance, the design feels familiar without looking stuck in the past. The nose is long, low, and muscular, with a wide grille framed by a more precise interpretation of the S197 front fascia. The center grille carries the unmistakable pony identity, while dark detailing gives the front end a serious, performance-oriented expression. The hood rises over the engine compartment with sculpted contours that suggest power underneath, and subtle vents help create a more purposeful visual balance. Up front, the grille itself becomes a major visual signature. Its mesh texture is tight and technical, but the shape keeps the broad, confident stance associated with the S197. The pony emblem sits prominently in the center, creating an instant connection between the modern interpretation and its heritage. The headlights bring another layer of character. Instead of simply copying the old units, the imagined 2027 design uses crisp LED illumination with a three-element lighting signature inspired by Mustang tradition. The lenses are slim, precise, and deeply integrated into the bodywork, giving the car a focused expression from every angle. The daytime running lights add an especially distinctive touch. Their clean LED pattern makes the front recognizable even before the headlights are fully illuminated, while also improving visibility and giving the Mustang a premium modern presence. The shoulder line flows cleanly from the front arches toward the rear, while the lower body uses sculpted surfaces to make the car look planted, rather than oversized. From the side, the S197 influence is impossible to miss. The roofline has that unmistakable fastback attitude, the windshield sits at a confident angle, and the short rear deck preserves the visual formula that enthusiasts recognize immediately. Yet the modern interpretation appears lower and more athletic, with tighter panel gaps, cleaner surfacing, and larger wheels filling the arches. The door handles are neatly integrated into the body, reducing visual clutter while giving the side profile a contemporary appearance. They feel solid when operated, with a satisfying mechanical action that reminds you this is still meant to be a driver's car. Above them, the side mirrors use a compact aerodynamic shape with integrated turn indicators. Their housings are designed to reduce wind noise while keeping the Mustang's muscular shoulders visually dominant. At the rear, the design becomes instantly recognizable. The fastback roof flows into a compact deck, and the tail uses the familiar tri-bar lighting theme that has become one of the Mustang's most enduring signatures. The rear lamps are crisp and modern, with sequential-style illumination adding a subtle theatrical effect whenever the car signals a turn. A sculpted rear bumper gives the car more width, while the lower diffuser area creates a performance-focused finish. The exhaust outlets sit prominently beneath the bumper, and on a high-performance version, 4 large tips would provide an unmistakable visual statement. Their metallic finish contrasts with the darker, lower trim, making it obvious that this car is still connected to the world of internal combustion performance. The Mustang emblem and pony branding remain carefully positioned rather than scattered across the body. That restraint matters, because heritage works best when it feels natural instead of forced. Open the door and the cabin reveals the biggest transformation. Instead of the basic, upright interior associated with older S197 models, this imagined 2027 version could blend classic Mustang cues with a fully modern cockpit. The dashboard is driver-focused, wrapping gently toward the center while keeping the controls within easy reach. Materials could combine soft-touch surfaces, durable performance trim, aluminum accents, and carefully stitched leather or premium synthetic upholstery. The driver could monitor temperatures, acceleration, lap information, and selectable drive modes without searching through complicated menus. In front of the driver, a thick steering wheel carries the pony emblem at its center. The rim is shaped for a secure grip with performance-oriented thumb rests and integrated controls for audio, cruise functions, phone access, and drive information. Paddle shifters could sit behind the wheel on automatic-equipped versions, allowing quick manual control without taking your hands away from the primary controls. The digital instrument cluster is one of the clearest signs that this Mustang belongs to a new era. A high-resolution display could offer classic analog-style gauges for enthusiasts who prefer tradition or switch switch to a more technical layout showing speed, engine information, tire data, navigation, and performance metrics. In the center of the dashboard, a large infotainment display brings modern connectivity into the cabin. Wireless smartphone integration, navigation, media controls, vehicle settings, and performance information could all be accessed through a clean interface. The gear selector would be short and substantial, with a mechanical feel that adds character every time it moves through its positions. The front seats are deeply supportive without becoming uncomfortable. Strong bolsters keep occupants secure during aggressive cornering, while the seating position places the driver low enough to feel connected to the chassis. Contrast stitching and performance-oriented upholstery would add visual depth, while heating and ventilation could make the cabin more usable every day. Above the occupants, a panoramic glass roof would be an appealing option, bringing more light into the cabin during the day and creating an open, airy feeling without sacrificing the fastback character. The imagined 2027 S197 would need a powertrain worthy of its name, and a modern interpretation could use a high-output, naturally aspirated V8 as the emotional centerpiece. A 5.0-liter style V8 would make sense as a heritage-friendly foundation, potentially delivering somewhere in the neighborhood of 450 to 500 horsepower in a standard performance configuration, with a higher output version pushing beyond that depending on the imagined specification. Open the hood, and the engine bay would reveal a carefully organized performance compartment. The intake system would be designed for efficient airflow, while heat management, reinforced cooling hardware, and neatly routed wiring would make the bay look purposeful rather than decorative. A detailed engine close-up would reveal the hardware that gives the Mustang its personality. The intake, ignition components, cooling lines, structural bracing, and the carefully finished engine cover. The sound would be equally important. At idle, the V8 should have a deep, controlled pulse, but open the throttle, and the exhaust note would become sharper, louder, and more urgent. Rear-wheel drive would remain central to the experience because sending power through the rear wheels is part of what gives a Mustang its distinctive balance between performance and attitude. A limited slip differential could help distribute torque during hard acceleration, while an adaptive suspension would allow the car to remain comfortable in daily driving and controlled when pushed. Acceleration could be genuinely serious, with a properly configured V8 version potentially reaching 60 miles per hour in roughly the low 4-second range, depending on weight, transmission, tires, and final power output. That would place the imagined S197 firmly in modern performance territory, while keeping the engine's character at the heart of the experience. On a winding road, the Mustang would show why chassis tuning matters as much as horsepower. The front end should respond quickly, the rear should remain planted under acceleration, and the suspension should control body movement without eliminating the sense of occasion that makes a muscle car exciting. There is also an important part of the S197 formula that numbers cannot capture: the way the car looks and feels at ordinary speeds. Even before the throttle is opened, the low seating position, visible hood, thick wheel, mechanical controls, and wide rear haunches create a sense of occasion. That visual drama matters because a Mustang has always been more than transportation. It is a car people recognize instantly, a car that can make a simple evening drive feel like an occasion, and a car whose character remains present even when the engine is barely working. This is part of the Mustang magic. Ultimately, the imagined 2027 Ford Mustang S197 would not need to copy the past piece by piece. Its real purpose would be to capture what people loved about the original S197: the stance, the rear-wheel drive attitude, the long hood, the fastback roof, the muscular shoulders, the sound of a V8, and the feeling that every drive can become an event. Then it would add the technology, refinement, safety, braking, suspension, connectivity, and precision expected from a modern sports coupe. That is what makes the idea so compelling. It is not simply an old Mustang wearing new clothes. It is a tribute built around the personality that made the S197 memorable in the first place. From the pony emblem in the grille to the glowing tri-bar taillights, from the thick steering wheel to the digital gauges, from the deep V8 pulse to the controlled roar of the exhaust, every detail works toward the same goal: making the driver feel something. And that may be the most important quality a Mustang can have. In a world where performance cars are becoming increasingly digital and increasingly complicated, a modern S197-inspired Mustang could stand for something beautifully simple: rear-wheel drive, a powerful engine, a great driving position, a connected chassis, and a design that makes you turn around for one more look after you park it. If Ford ever decided to bring that spirit back in a serious way, the result could be one of the most emotionally appealing modern interpretations of Mustang heritage. This imagined 2027 Ford Mustang S197 is therefore less about recreating a specific year and more about preserving a feeling. It takes a legendary American shape, gives it modern confidence, and asks one timeless question every time the engine fires: where are we going? From the aggressive front face and signature lighting to the premium cockpit, performance-focused hardware, and unmistakable V8 character, this Mustang would have the ingredients to turn ordinary roads into memorable drives. And if you are the kind of enthusiast who believes a car should have a personality, not just a specification sheet, that is exactly why the S197 name still carries so much weight. Thanks for joining Prime Car Culture for this deep look at the imagined 2027 Ford Mustang S197. If this modern return of the classic Mustang spirit ever became reality, it would be more than another fast coupe. It would be a rolling reminder that performance, heritage, and emotion can still belong in the same machine. Keep your eyes on the road, keep your passion for cars alive, and keep coming back to Prime Car Culture for more legendary machines, future concepts, and unforgettable automotive stories.